Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Jen. So guys, today we're going to be talking about this guy named Matt Walsh that YouTube recommended to me all of a sudden, but I didn't know he existed because I wasn't really talking about this kind of stuff a few months ago. And so let's just get straight into it. So Matt Walsh did do a documentary called What is a Woman, and unfortunately I won't have the link for that, so you will have to go and purchase the documentary by yourself. Also, I will have the link for the drphil interview in case you do want to watch it on your free time. First things first, all I can say is based on watching that documentary and watching these interviews, I've just pretty much summed it up to transgenders are confused. And you know, I know a lot of people in the comment section would probably be like, what do you mean by transgenders are confused? So none of these transgender people or the doctors or anybody that Matt Walsh actually interviewed could tell him what is a woman. To me, the only person that could actually tell Matt Walsh what a woman is his wife, and his wife basically summed it to an adult human female. And I was like, oops, that was quite simple. How come the professor, how come Dr. Marcy Bowers, how come none of these experts that have been in the field for so long could actually tell him what a woman was? And it's quite weird because transgenders and people in the lgbtqia plus, I think I just messed that up, people in the gay community pretty much have a twisted fantasy on what gender is, and it's really quite appalling. So first things first, let's talk about Marcy Bowers. She annoyed me in this documentary simply because when Matt stated, you're a transgender woman, she was like, no, I'm a woman with a transgender past. That pissed me off so much because it's like, dude, man, whatever you want to be called, no offense, this does not make any sense. It's basically the same thing that he said, and you could clearly see that she was somewhat upset. Stop trying to make it seem like you're no longer that. She pissed me off, and she couldn't define what a woman was either. Also, this lady that you're seeing with the blue dress on, she's giving medicine to like transgenders that are meant to be used for XCX. Let me say that again, SEX offenders. And she wanted to cut the interview short because, I don't know, maybe like put her whole doctor scheme into question. But it seemed a little weird, like, why are you giving these people hormone pills that are meant to basically like castrate without castrating people who are SEX offenders? Once again, like, this whole situation was weird. And this one professor right here that's supposed to be a gender studies professor, I think that's what it was, he couldn't define what a woman was either, and he kept giving a stupid circular definition that didn't even make any sense. And you could clearly tell that he was upset by the way his arms were crossed, his legs were crossed, like you could tell he was pissed off. And then he was like, this interview might be cut short. And I'm like, why are you getting so upset about the question, what is a woman? And it's just like, these people have a twisted reality on what life really is. You have a twisted reality on what gender really is. There is only two genders, but for some reason these people are coming up with 70 something genders to make up human beings, and I'm trying to make it make sense because it's not making any sense. How are there 72 genders? And then one of the wackos that were in these documentary, the one that kept smiling all the time, I don't remember what that lady's name is, but she was like, a woman could have a peen. What are you talking about? I just believe that the devil is really running rampant out here in this world. The devil is at work, and he's using people to operate, and the stuff that people are saying out of their mouth make absolutely no sense. Like, and this is what we see happening. 72 genders. What sense does that make? How does that work? Somebody please tell me, how does this work for the human race to have 72 genders? The gay community, once again, is trying to blur the lines of gender. And to me, it's either you're a male, you're a female. Now, the only people that did make sense in this documentary was the one guy who had transitioned from being a woman to being a man. And he essentially said that I will never be a woman. And he understood the assignment and knew what it really was. And he was brave for speaking out, talking about the medication that they're giving trans people, and basically saying that this is an experiment on trans people and we have yet to see the effects. We've seen some of the effects such as suicide rates, but we have yet to really gather any, and we'll have to see what happens in the next 10, maybe 20 years. Also, the African group from Nairobi, shout out to my Africans. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am African as well. You know, shout out to my people. They were basically saying like something has to be wrong with the individual or wrong with their family if they want to transition. And that pretty much was a good sum up, because the crap doesn't make any sense. And the guy was basically saying, we have never seen anything like this, which the world should never see anything like this, because I don't care what you feel on the inside or what you think up there. For you to actually go through with that procedure of permanently castrating yourself and taking out your genitals and trying to put a genital that doesn't work well with your body, it doesn't make any sense. Because regardless of whether you transition to be a female, hey, you're still gonna have man parts as far as your DNA. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Am I doing too much with this? So on the Dr. Phil show, he had a couple. Let's get on with the great gender pronoun debate on the Dr. Phil show. One was a woman that transitioned to be a man, and I'm assuming that based on the surgical scar showing on the breast area, and the other dressed feminine, but he had a beard. It was quite weird, okay? And they decided to talk to Matt Walsh about the one that was dressed as a female being addressed as they, them. The one that was dressed as a female, who was in white in this photo right here, basically was stating that the word woman is an umbrella word. Once again, define woman. Don't define it as being a woman, which is what Matt Walsh was saying. So you can't define a woman, but you're calling, basically saying it's an umbrella term. It's not an umbrella term. Woman is not an umbrella term that you can make up and decide what you want to go as. And according to him, he's basically not a woman, even though he plays dress up like one and basically appropriates a woman, but he's not a woman. This is what confusion looks like. This is what stupidity looks like. I'm sorry to say it, but I said it. Anybody who doesn't like it, oh well. And then we'll get to this next person. They have 2 children. The second baby basically doesn't have a gender listed on the birth certificate. They address the baby as a baby. So we don't know whether it's a female or a male. And it's just like, why are confused people trying to raise children in order for them to be confused as well? Like, this shit don't make no sense. I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't curse no more, but I lied, okay? So they're addressing the baby as a baby. This is where society has gotten to in America, where we are literally sitting here debating whether there are 2 or more genders in the world. I'm sorry, the good Lord gave us only a P and a vag. Where are you guys coming up with all of these extra terms, and where are you guys coming up with all of these extra things to make your minds feel better about the confusion that you have put yourselves into? They also talked about kids in schools being taught gender pronouns, and 2 of the parents that came on were really upset because, first of all, do not add gender topics to the curriculum, because that's nobody's business. If I want to talk to my child about gender things, I'll do that at home, but I'm not gonna allow a teacher to talk to my child about such a sensitive topic. And this goes to show you that there is really an agenda. They're after your kids. People say all the time, it's not an agenda, it's not an agenda, but trust me, it's an agenda. It's in the cartoons your kids watch, it's in the shows that they watch, and now it's in the schools that they go to where they're supposed to be learning social studies. Just a quick question that I have to ask for everybody out there: why are you trying to sell these kids delusions in a pipe dream? They also talked about the whole bathroom issue and whether transgenders should be allowed to enter the bathroom. The transgenders on stage is like, we're not hurting anybody, essentially. I feel like we should use the restroom, but I, for one, if I was a parent, I wouldn't feel safe with a little boy going into the little girl's restroom. Stay your ass in the little boy's restroom unless you decide to castrate yourself and decide you want to go through the whole transition. But prior to that, absolutely not. It's a no for me. And for them to act like it's not a danger to little girls, it shows you the level of delusion that is going on in this world. So guys, to sum it up, I want you to tell me in the comment section, what is a woman? At this point, do I even know what a woman is? Because the gay community is giving us all types of umbrella definitions of what a woman is that makes no sense, okay? So you guys, until next time, it's been fun. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.